Welcome Libra to your in-depth monthly horoscope for September 2024 for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. I'm going to share some standout details with you to begin with, but please stay with me. Then on screen I'll share your event chart right at the start of the month. That always provides an enormous amount of information, and then as the days unfold, all the key influences and timings particularly relevant to you. Now as we come into September, your ruler Venus is right at the heart of the action, so I really need to unpack that for you. However, she does forge an impressive link with Pluto, which coincidentally goes into the sign of Capricorn, returns for one last visit in our lifetimes through to the 19th of November 2024. Anything to do with your home, emotional and family situations are going to come under a deeper astrological review. But we have a new moon on the 3rd, and then on the 4th, Mars, the planet of desire and passion, climbs into a very influential part of your situation. But it's going to be for 8 weeks, so I'm really excited to share that with you. Now, we are going to have Mercury return back to the sign of Virgo on the 9th, but that's still a very tender position for you. And in fact, there are some rather tender energies that I do need to share. But by the time we get to the first of a new series of lunar eclipses, which occurs on the 18th, in the part of your situation to do with your obligations, responsibilities, potentially your work, and possibly your health, that's very delicately influenced by the dreamy energies of Neptune. But the most important influence for you the whole month is the return of the Sun to your sign on the 22nd after an absence of 11 months. This also announces the autumnal equinox and ushers in Cardinal Quadrant 3, a backdrop of energy for the next 13 weeks, which is very much about equity, balance and fairness. But also your financial situation takes a turn for the better on the 23rd. So really good news to share there. And then as the month draws to a close, that part of you that's a communicator par excellence is really emphasized. So a very important event brings down the cosmic curtain on September. So please stay with me for more. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for your company. If you have any thoughts, please do share them. This is very much a community. If you're a returning visitor, your views and interactions, as always, are truly appreciated. Please help the channel to thrive. If you've yet to subscribe, click that sub button and also the bell notification symbol. I'm a consulting astrologer. If you'd like to have a one-to-one with me, please check out my testimonials below. I've also launched my year 2025 unique personal horoscope forecast offer. You can get next year and also the rest of year 2024 30% off, and your life roadmap report. This whole package will give you searing insights and help you to plan your moves. But also the life roadmap report will help you to understand the energies that have played out in your life so far and how to work with them more succinctly going forwards. Please see the link below for more. So Libra on screen now. I'm sharing your event chart at the start of the month, and I told you that your ruler Venus was very influential. Now you can see on the screen that at 2 degrees and 59, it's just right at the start of its journey through your sign. And one of the things that Venus can do here is encourage you to transform your personal appearance in some way or another. Now often Libran people can be very tasteful in the way they dress, but even if you are a dedicated follower of fashion, sometimes it's nice to do something completely different, and that's what Venus encourages you to do. But in terms of relationships, Venus is opposite Neptune, and both are T-squared by Mars right at the start of this month. If you're involved with someone or you've been attracted to someone and you're finding it difficult to really quarry out exactly where you stand with that person, you could really be unsure what to do. What can help you is that Pluto, the planet of transformation, despite inverting back into Capricorn later on the 1st, forges a powerful link to Venus and is really giving you the astral tools to really weigh up the value, because remember, Venus can be about worth, value, as well as how we relate and present ourselves. So if there is someone you're a little bit unsure of, it wouldn't be a surprise. And I think Mars being in the 9th house as this month begins is really encouraging you not to be fobbed off if you're not sure. It's just that Mars and Neptune are going to be squared up as we come into this month. And even if it's someone you find utterly captivating, if you find them so mysterious that you're not really knowing exactly how things are, however much or however strong the attraction is, it may be a little bit off-putting if that is how it feels. However, we do have on the 3rd a new moon. But to be honest, Libra, 12th house new moons are probably the trickiest. A new moon, as we know, is when we can set our intentions. The sun and the moon combine. A full moon, they're in competition. With a new moon, their energies come together and unify. So in the 12th house, if you're someone who's very much into healing, personal development, exploring the inner workings of your world, if you're okay with taking time out, taking a step back, really having some moments of meditation, or perhaps having a lovely spa day, or treating yourself to some time in some form of escapist environment, somewhere very peaceful, very quiet, you can work this new moon to your advantage. But the other side of the 12th house is where we can be fearful, and it can also be where people manifest their opposition to us, but not necessarily in an obvious way. So this new moon's fine if you're someone who wants to work at your inner world, your psychology, your subconscious, and anything to do with your spiritual growth. However, it does then the sun moves forwards and goes opposite Saturn. So the following days could bring something into sharp focus that's out of kilter in your world. And it may be that your vitality feels quite a bit on the low side. And if that's the case, don't underestimate just how much your mind or your anxieties could be impacting on your physical energy. But despite this, Mars does move on the 4th, as I mentioned, into a very dominant part of your situation, where he'll be for 8 long weeks. Now, Mars usually takes 6 weeks to go through each sign, so this is a bit of a celestial special offer. So through to the 4th of November, if you really want to pitch into a wider and more visible in a wider and more visible way your talents, the chances are Mars will give you the drive, ambition and extra self-confidence to do it. But this is just at a time when the sun is in such a delicate part of its journey. With Mercury rejoining the sun in the sign of Virgo on the 9th, though emerging from its post-retrograde shadow on the 11th, that's asking you to sort out any inner wound or inner doubts that may be in some ways inhibiting that more worldly, outgoing energy that Mars can help you with. And there's more to come on the 18th, because we have a very complex lunar eclipse, as I mentioned. It's the first in a new series going between the signs of Virgo and Pisces. And this one is also electrically conducted in a positive way by Uranus. So if you're open to transforming part of your situation, there are opportunities here. I think over the years, since 2012, it's possible that some Libran people have almost been too giving. And particularly with Pluto now back in your 4th house, if you're starting to feel that people are taking you for granted again, that your boundaries are being eroded, Neptune, you find it hard to say no or set your needs firmly in place, that's something you may have to revisit over the next 6 months. However, if you are someone who really wants to change your diet, your fitness approach, or even how you think about things, this can be a very radical and helpful lunar eclipse. But on the 22nd, the sun returning to your sign brings you into the moment. So you're going to have a lot more ability to maneuver situations on your behalf. It also forges through this autumnal equinox an amazing link to Pluto. And although Pluto has just edged back into Capricorn, it can still help you make progress in terms of your creative plans as long as it's in touch with how you feel. But on the 23rd, your ruler moves out of your sign and into the sign of Scorpio. Now, Venus is technically detrimented here, but I feel this will trigger some good news around a financial matter. In fact, on the 26th, as Mercury, the marketeer of the zodiac, moves into your sign, something that's been very blocked or uncertain or bogged down for some time can suddenly start to take shape in a really exciting way. And on the 30th, we have a cazimi. But because Mercury's going forwards, it's a superior conjunction, so one of the better Mercury cazimis that we can have, and the radiance of the sun can light up the energy of Mercury. Of course, the sun in Libra is not its technically best location because the sun is exalted in the sign of Aries. So the sun being in your sign suggests that your tendency to try to work with people and be very collaborative, in some ways the sun wants us to showcase what makes us as individuals come to life. But I feel that with Mercury in assistance, particularly with the cazimi, and the fact that you're working on from the autumnal equinox with the force of Pluto feeding into that, gives you a great opportunity to drive things forwards. And don't forget, you do have a fantastic solar eclipse in your sign on the 2nd of October to look forward to. So it's a very exciting end to the month for you. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Libra. Have a great September. Take care and goodbye.